Pac-Man, a game everyone has grown up with and enjoyed throughout the years and years. But what if I told you there was a Pac-Man Cafe? Well, after telling my friends for years and years about Pac-Man Cafe, no one has ever seemed to believe me. But after looking through the internet and finally finding some information on it, I want to show you guys a big piece of my childhood and hopefully a big piece of a lot of people's childhood. Here is the history and just general knowledge of the Pac-Man Cafe.
Eat, drink, and play games with your food at the first ever Pac-Man Cafe at XS Orlando. Gobble up our signature Pac-Man pizzas and mouth-watering desserts. Relive the 80s as you try your hand at classic Pac-Man games. Then transport yourself to the second level for the hottest interactive games and simulators. And remember, Pac-Man Cafe is a great place to celebrate birthdays and special occasions. Pac-Man Cafe at XS Orlando, located on I-Drive at Point Orlando. Call us or log on to...
Now, I know that looks super sick, and it honestly took me really long time to find all this information and even that commercial. I had to use the Wayback Machine and search the deepest, darkest depths of Pac-Man Google that there ever is. And I really hope that everyone enjoys all this information. And yeah, here we go. Pac-Man Cafe, originally called XS Orlando, located in Point Orlando, was an arcade bought out by Namco in 2004. After this acquisition, everything changed. We had Pac-Man pizzas, Pac-Man everything, even a Pac-Man museum. I'm going to show you guys some more information on each one of these things. Coming up is floor 1. Alright, so this floor really consisted of the base level of Pac-Man Cafe, which was the cafe itself. Here you could get all the food items, you can go visit the Galaxian bar, and there was just a bunch of stuff that you could see and just experience down there. So I would really like to show you guys some food items I found on the internet regarding the Pac-Man Cafe, starting with the appetizers. One thing I wish I was able to try were those Pac-Man wings or those potato planks. But honestly, there was a lot of really good options there. And yeah, coming up next is the burgers and sandwiches. Now, one thing I think that's really cool about this place is that they incorporate all the different Pac-Man names, such as Blinky's Barbecue Bacon Buster, Inky's Mushroom and Swiss, and something I thought was pretty funny from 2004, they're still looking out for the health conscious, Clyde's Low Carb Cheeseburger. Speaking of health conscious, here's the salads, which were just ordinary salads. Luckily, the entrees made up for it. Something I would really want to get is the Namco noodles, but you guys leave a comment below on something that you'd want to enjoy as a main entree at the Pac-Man Cafe. Everyone loves entrees and all, but honestly, pizza was the main attraction at the Pac-Man Cafe. They had a special pizza where they would remove a slice and give it to you on a side plate, but it would come out looking like Pac-Man, and that was a really cool thing. They had a lot of specialty pizzas there too, and you had plenty of choices to choose from. And to finish off all these Pac-Man food items is the desserts. Something I fondly remember having is that Pac-Man sundae. It was really huge and was great for sharing, and it was just a great time. Something I also thought was super cool is that they had really dope drink specials, like absolutely ridiculous drink specials for something like the Pac-Man Cafe to even have. I thought that was really dope. After that big meal on the first floor, now it's time to make it to the second floor, which consists of you following the evolution of video games from the 60s all the way to the present day of 2004. You were able to experience all sorts of brand new games and just really cool Namco titles that you wouldn't be able to find at a normal arcade that you see today, like a Dave & Buster's or something like that. Also, something that was really dope was that it came out with the timing of Tekken and Soul Calibur releases, so you'd have the Soul Calibur and the Tekken bar there. I think it'd be super sick to see a bar with like Nightmare and a bar with like Hoorang and all these Tekken characters that you would never be able to see at a normal bar. And if you don't know how hype Tekken 4 and Soul Calibur 2 were in those times, here, just check out their commercial.
Calibur 2, rated T for teen. Soul Calibur 2 puts the weapons back in your hands, featuring classic Soul Calibur fighters, new warriors, and over 10 modes of play. And exclusively on PlayStation 2, Tekken's Heihachi unleashes his raid.
Tekken 4, rated T for teen. Oh yeah, Tekken 4 is here. Punish your enemies with new moves, interactive environments, and new fighters. It's a legend so deep, no one just plays it, they live it.
So yeah, after seeing that, you guys pretty much get the idea. No video games today have commercials like this. It really was a product of its time, and coming up is Floor 3. And Floor 3, from even what I remember, was just a really chill rooftop breeze area. It was pretty much just to get away from all the Pac-Man stuff, and they would host private events and other little theme parties up there, but it was really chill compared to everything else going on. So let's make our way back down to Floor 1, where it had a really special surprise, the Pac-Man Museum. This was honestly my favorite place at the Pac-Man Cafe, because you were able to see all sorts of old Pac-Man memorabilia, from like the Pac-Man watch, the roller skates, the Pac-Man cell phone, anything that you could imagine through the history of Pac-Man, you saw it there. And to top it all off was a 40-foot statue of Pac-Man that you got to take a photo with. So honestly, I really thought Pac-Man Cafe was a really cool experience. Here's other little facts about it for you guys. The hours were 12 to 12 or 12 to 2. And unlike arcades today where it's price per game, you would just pay price per hour for unlimited games. So it would be $25 for 2 hours or $20 for 1 hour. Something I remember doing growing up was get that Power Play card for all day, which was way better. You would be able to just play everything you wanted, and it was really a blast, especially as a kid growing up. And I honestly saw a lot of people host birthday parties there, and it's really cool that they gave a Florida discount for the locals, even though the locals never really supported this joint. Even parking wasn't too bad. If you got something at the bar, you were able to pay for your parking that way. So I thought that was also pretty neat. The place was nearly 40,000 square feet, so they definitely had to make up some costs with some parking, and had $1.5 million worth of gaming equipment and just games in general. So yeah, that was all the information I could find on the Pac-Man Cafe after searching and searching through millions of dead links on the Wayback Machine and just finding all these different Orlando Sentinel articles. This was all the information I was able to find. I hope this brought some light on it, and I hope everyone is now informed on everything that went on in the past with Namco in Orlando, because not many people even knew this existed. This is Theme Park Hunters. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more content.